Hey everyone, it's Miss Krista with our last STEM lesson of the year, and today we're going to do our lesson on butterflies. And we've got all sorts of those out right now, don't we? Well, I'm down to 22 minutes on my phone. It won't let me record any more than that, so we're going to go kind of quickly today. Just like with a lot of things we've learned about this year, we have life cycles for a lot of things that God made for us, like with apple trees and the seeds and pumpkins and all kinds of things. The butterfly also has a life cycle. And as you can see here, they start out as an egg. And then when the egg hatches, we have a little caterpillar. And he eats and eats and eats until he's a big caterpillar. And then he kind of knits himself. It's almost like a little sleeping bag. It's called a cocoon. And then when the cocoon sits there for a while, the caterpillar comes out as a butterfly. And the whole cycle starts all over again. So there's a life cycle. All right, so these are butterfly eggs. Look at how tiny they are. Look at that, and they're very sticky. And they will not come off if the wind blows or if rain falls on them. So they're very tiny. And here is a tiny baby caterpillar coming out of his egg. You can see he almost looks a little fuzzy. It's like he's got these little hairs on him here. Isn't he pretty? Pretty blue color. And here's some more caterpillars coming out. You can see them right there. Those aren't blue. They're what color? They're yellow and black. That's right. And there's their eggs. And you can see what they're doing. Just like in that book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar, what are they doing? They're eating their plant. That's right. And they eat so much they become a big caterpillar, just like this guy. And you can't hear any sound on this one, but Mom and Dad can go to this website if you want to. And caterpillars actually make a squeaking noise. And here someone's just very gently poking one with a little pair of tweezers. They're not hurting him. But they make a sound almost like a rubber duck, like you would have in the bathtub. So if you want, Mom and Dad can go online and they can find this and they can listen to it. And so once the caterpillar is ready to become a butterfly, these are the stages of the cocoon making. And it's almost like he knits himself a little sleeping bag, and there's the finished product down here at the end. And here is a caterpillar making himself a cocoon. Now they don't go this fast, but that's what they look like. Pretty neat stuff. And once they're ready to hatch, out comes this beautiful butterfly. Look how his wings unfold. Let's watch that again. That's pretty cool. How he unfolds from that tiny little cocoon. How pretty. And something we're going to talk about in your craft for this week, butterflies have symmetry. And it means that they are exactly the same on one wing as they are on the other. So remember, if you have that imaginary line drawn right down the middle of something, like with our snowflakes, one half will be exactly the same as the other half. And so we'll get to see that in your activity this week. All right, we're going to talk about a couple of different kinds of butterflies that you might see around here. One of the ones we have here in Arizona is the monarch. This is probably one of the most famous butterflies in the whole world. Let's take a look at his wings here. Now this is a female, and you can tell that because the outside black part is very black and very dark. And the boy butterflies, they're not quite as dark. They're almost like a little bit of gray, instead of so dark black right in there. And what other colors do you see in the monarch? Does anyone see orange? Can you show your mom and dad where orange is? Yep, right in here. And there's some white right there. All kinds of pretty colors on them. Now, the monarch butterfly is named after this guy. This was King William of England, and he lived in the 1600s. So he lived about 400 years ago, a little more. And the word monarch means ruler, like a king or a queen. So that would make the monarch butterflies the kings and queens of the butterfly world. And here's another picture of one. How pretty are they? Look at that. All right, monarchs do something called migrate. And we had talked a little bit about that earlier in the year. The word migration means to move from one place to another. And so here's a map showing all the places that the monarchs come from when they start to migrate, and then they go down here into Mexico. Excuse me. So as you can see, here's Arizona. Let me zoom in a little bit. And that right there is about where we live. That's Oro Valley or Tucson. And they will come from all over the country, and they will go down into Mexico when it's too cold for them up here. And then they go where it's warmer, kind of down south. And here's a picture of what they look like when they're migrating. Isn't that pretty? Can you imagine seeing all those millions of butterflies flying around outside? That would be pretty cool. And we don't see really big clumps of them like that here, but we'll see, one here and there. You can see we don't get a whole ton of the migration coming through where we are, but we do get some. So keep your eyes open and you might see one of them. Okay, this is another kind of butterfly that we might see here. You usually see these guys out in the fall, and they are called the yellow sulfur butterfly. And does anyone remember about a mineral that we learned about in February that kind of smells like eggs? Do you guys remember this one? This is the person here is holding a clump of sulfur. Remember, it's that kind of yellow, chalky looking mineral, and again, it smells kind of like eggs. Remember, I had you smell that one? Okay, well, can you guess why the sulfur butterfly is named after the mineral sulfur? Take a look at the color. Do you see anything that's the same? That's right, the yellow butterfly here is named after the yellow mineral because of the color. Now, I do not believe that the butterfly smells like eggs. But if you can ever catch one, you can sniff one and find out for yourselves. But so that's the yellow sulfur butterfly. And again, you'll see these out in the fall. So if you guys happen to go down to, Apple Annie's or, somewhere. I know when we're driving on the freeway, we always see them because there's a whole bunch of black-eyed Susans and little sunflowers, wild sunflowers growing along in there, and they seem to like those real well. So keep your eyes open if you head out to Apple Annie's in the fall. Okay, this one you will not see here in Arizona, but this is my very favorite kind of butterfly, and they are so cool. This is the glasswing butterfly. And can you guess why it's called a glasswing? That's right, look at those wings. You can see right through them like a piece of glass. Can you see the flowers on the other side of him? Isn't that pretty? And here's another picture. Look at that. You can see the flowers right through them. Okay, here's some more pictures. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? How pretty. Now, we don't have these here, so if you want to go see one, I'll tell you where. Okay, up here is Arizona, and the glasswing is found in Mexico. It's found in this area called Panama, and it's found right around in here. This is Colombia. Sometimes they will go as far north up here in Florida, but that's about it. So if you want to ever see one of those in real life, you'll have to go to one of those places. Now, what kinds of butterflies do you think you'll be able to find this summer? This is a butterfly catching kit that they have at Dollar Tree. So if mom and dad want to head over there when they feel like it and pick one of those up for you, that's where they are, and they're only $1. Now don't nag mom and dad to get you this if they don't want to, but if they want to, that's where you can find them. Okay? All right, so we are going to read a book right now. Let me get my, hold on just a second here. All right, so we are going to read a book called Monarch Butterfly by Gail Gibbons. Okay. A monarch butterfly settles on the leaf of a milkweed plant. She gently presses a tiny egg onto one of its leaves. The egg is the beginning of another monarch butterfly. Can you see that tiny egg right there? All right, there it is. It's summertime in the north. A breeze stirs the stem of the milkweed plant. The monarch egg is white and shiny. It's the size of a small dot and sticks to the leaf. When the butterfly lays the egg, she makes it sticky. Wind and rain cannot make the egg come loose. You see it? It's still there. In a few days, the egg hatches. Out crawls a small caterpillar, also called a larva. First, the caterpillar eats the eggshell, and then he chews away at the milkweed leaf. The egg of a monarch is almost always laid on a milkweed plant. The plant will be its food. The caterpillar eats and grows and begins to change. It breaks out of its old skin, showing a new skin underneath. This is called molting. Can you see that? There's the old skin coming off and the new skin on him. For 2 weeks, the caterpillar eats and eats. It molts about 5 times. Finally, it's a full-grown monarch caterpillar, about 2 inches long. Now something wonderful begins to happen. The caterpillar creeps to the stem of a leaf. It attaches itself to the stem and drops down. Head first, the caterpillar's bright colors become greenish. Can you guys see that? There he is, all attached to that stem. Then the skin splits and moves up to the top. The skin falls off. A new strange form appears. It's called the chrysalis or pupa. The chrysalis is like a blanket that's wrapped around the body, growing inside. Can you see that? At first, the chrysalis is long and soft. Then it shrinks and hardens and becomes light green, decorated with gold dots. Inside, the monarch butterfly begins to grow. About 2 weeks later, the chrysalis changes again. It turns gray-green before becoming transparent. Inside are white dots and orange and black lines. Can you see? What does transparent mean? Do you guys know what that big word means? It means see-through. Just kind of like the wings on our glass-winged butterfly. Those are also transparent. The chrysalis wiggles, then it splits open. The butterfly begins to pull itself out. The head and legs appear first, and then the rest of it slides out. The wings are tiny and stuck together, and the butterfly's abdomen is big. The abdomen becomes smaller when its fluid is pumped into the wings. The wings become bigger. A caterpillar has turned into a butterfly. This is called metamorphosis. Can you see that big word? Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. Very good. That's a big, big word, and it just means changing into something else. The butterfly sits quietly for a few hours, waiting for its wings to dry and harden. At last they begin to move slowly and then beat faster and faster. The butterfly flutters up toward the sky. Monarchs have a bad taste and will make a bird or animal sick if they're eaten, so most of them are left alone. Let's see. The scales of the wings make up the colors. There are the scales. There's the wing. There's the head right here. Oop. These long things, these are called feelers or antennas. And the butterfly, see this curly thing right here? That's called the proboscis. And it's kind of like a straw that comes out of the butterfly's mouth. And that's how they get to the nectar in flowers. There are many parts to a butterfly. The monarch butterfly only flies during the day. When it rains, the butterfly stays dry and hidden under leaves. Fall is on the way. Soon it will be cold. If the monarch butterfly doesn't fly south, it will die. Once again, it darts up to the sky. The butterfly will take a long trip to a warmer place. This is called migration. The monarch will fly to where its ancestors have always gone, sometimes to the very same tree. Other monarchs keep appearing, making a cloud of orange in the sky. At night, they rest in the trees. Sometimes they fly up to 12 miles an hour and almost 100 miles a day. There could be over 1,000 butterflies traveling together. They fly to such places as Florida, Southern California, and Mexico, but some butterflies migrate 4,000 miles. They will stay south throughout the winter. Some towns and cities are proud to have the butterflies visit them. They have festivals to celebrate their arrival. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Look at this. Children dress up for parades in butterfly costumes. Sometimes there's a band and visitors come from all around. Monarchs can cluster together, thousands of them clinging to one tree, a butterfly tree. In the spring, these butterflies will migrate north again to the fields of the milkweed plants. And if you want to know how to raise a monarch butterfly, you can get this book and it will tell you in the back. And again, it's called Monarch Butterfly by Gail Gibbons. So that's all we have for today, and I hope all of you guys have a fantastic summer. Make sure Mom and Dad check the email that this came in for a really, really cool craft that I have for you guys to do with them. So anyway, I love you all, and have a fantastic summer, and I have so enjoyed having you in class. And remember, always, always, always keep learning about this amazing world that God made for us. It is so incredible when you look at it. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.